Have you ever noticed how, as you grow older, certain moments seem to hit harder than they used to? Maybe it's a song that reminds you of your youth, or seeing your grandchild take their first steps. Suddenly, tears well up, or maybe a wave of joy washes over you so strongly, it takes your breath away. If this sounds familiar, trust me, you're not alone. At 70 and beyond, many people find themselves feeling emotions more intensely, both the highs and the lows. But why does this happen? Is it just part of aging, or is there something deeper going on beneath the surface? Today, we're diving into the science behind these heightened emotions. We'll explore what researchers have discovered about the brain, hormones, and even social connections. And most importantly, I'll share practical ways to embrace these changes without letting them overwhelm you. By the end of this video, you'll understand why you feel more emotional after 70, and how to use those feelings to live a richer, fuller life. But before we get started, if you're new here, welcome to Wisdom Nexus, where every week we bring you tips, stories, and insights to help seniors thrive. Please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you never miss an episode. And if you've been watching for a while, drop a comment below telling me one thing that makes you emotional lately. I'd love to hear from you. So let's start by addressing the big question: why do our emotions seem to intensify as we age? To answer this, we need to look at two key factors: the biological changes happening inside us and the psychological shifts that come with years of lived experience. Let's begin with biology. As we grow older, our brains undergo some fascinating transformations. One area that plays a major role in regulating emotion is called the amygdala. This tiny almond-shaped structure deep within your brain acts like your emotional control center. It helps process fear, happiness, sadness, and everything in between. Now, here's the interesting part. Studies show that as we age, the amygdala becomes more reactive to positive stimuli but also slightly more sensitive to negative ones. In simpler terms, good things might make you happier than ever before, but bad news can feel heavier too. For example, hearing about a friend's passing might leave you feeling grief-stricken for days, while a heartfelt family reunion could bring tears of pure joy. But wait, there's more. Hormones also play a significant role in this emotional roller coaster. Levels of estrogen, testosterone, and cortisol, all crucial players in mood regulation, begin to shift dramatically in our later years. Lower levels of estrogen in women, for instance, have been linked to increased irritability or mood swings. Meanwhile, declining testosterone in men may contribute to feelings of sadness or frustration. And then there's oxytocin, often called the love hormone. Oxytocin levels tend to rise as we age, which explains why seniors often report stronger bonds with loved ones and greater empathy toward others. Have you ever found yourself tearing up during a commercial featuring a grandparent hugging their grandchild? That's oxytocin at work. But biology isn't the only factor. Our minds are shaped not just by what happens inside our bodies, but by decades of experiences. Think about it. By the time you reach 70, you've accumulated a lifetime of memories, some beautiful, some painful. These memories don't just fade, they become woven into the fabric of who you are. For instance, losing someone close to you might trigger unresolved grief from earlier losses, or reconnecting with an old friend could remind you of all the adventures you shared back in the day. These emotional echoes aren't weaknesses, they're proof that you've lived fully and deeply. They remind us of the connections we've made, the challenges we've overcome, and the love we've given and received. The truth is, feeling more emotional isn't necessarily a bad thing. It means you're still engaged with life, still capable of experiencing its beauty and complexity. But sometimes, those emotions can feel overwhelming. So now, let's talk about how to navigate this shift gracefully. One of the reasons emotions feel so intense after 70 is because of the profound impact of social relationships. You see, humans are wired for connection. From birth, we crave interaction, belonging, and validation. And as we age, the quality of those connections becomes even more important. Here's why. When we're younger, we're often surrounded by large social circles, friends from school, co-workers, neighbors. But as we grow older, those circles naturally shrink. People move away, retire, or pass on. While this narrowing of relationships can be challenging, it also has a silver lining. It forces us to focus on the connections that truly matter. Research shows that strong, meaningful relationships can actually enhance emotional well-being. Spending time with loved ones releases endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals, which can boost your mood and reduce stress. On the flip side, isolation or strained relationships can amplify negative emotions, making loneliness feel unbearable. Take my own experience, for example. A few months ago, I attended a high school reunion. Now, I hadn't seen most of these people in decades, but when I walked into that room and saw familiar faces, I was flooded with memories. Some brought tears of nostalgia, while others filled me with warmth and gratitude. It reminded me how powerful those long-standing connections can be, even if they've been dormant for years. But building and maintaining these relationships requires effort, especially as mobility issues or health concerns arise. That's why it's essential to prioritize communication. Whether it's calling a friend once a week, joining a local club, or using technology to stay in touch with distant relatives, staying connected can make all the difference. And don't underestimate the power of small gestures, a handwritten letter, a surprise visit, or simply saying, "I love you" out loud. These acts of kindness not only strengthen bonds but also create opportunities for shared joy and healing. Now that we understand why emotions intensify after 70, let's talk about how to manage them effectively. Because while these feelings are normal, and even beneficial, they can sometimes spiral out of control. Here are 5 strategies to help you stay grounded and embrace your emotions in a healthy way. And don't underestimate the power of small gestures, a handwritten letter, a surprise visit, or simply saying, "I love you" out loud. These acts of kindness not only strengthen bonds but also create opportunities for shared joy and healing. Now that we understand why emotions intensify after 70, let's talk about how to manage them effectively. Because while these feelings are normal, and even beneficial, they can sometimes spiral out of control. Here are 5 strategies to help you stay grounded and embrace your emotions in a healthy way. Strategy number 1. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is all about being present in the moment, acknowledging your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Instead of trying to suppress difficult emotions, allow yourself to sit with them. Take a few deep breaths, notice where you feel tension in your body, and remind yourself that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. For example, if you're grieving the loss of a loved one, give yourself permission to cry. Cry as much as you need to. Then, when you're ready, focus on the happy memories you shared. This balance between honoring pain and celebrating joy is key to emotional resilience. Strategy number 2. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Start each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. It could be something as simple as the sunshine streaming through your window or the sound of birds chirping outside. Over time, this practice trains your brain to seek out positivity, even during tough times. Strategy number 3. Stay physically active. Exercise isn't just good for your body, it's great for your mind too. Activities like walking, yoga, or swimming release serotonin and dopamine, which are natural mood boosters. Plus, physical activity gives you a sense of accomplishment, which can counteract feelings of helplessness or despair. Strategy number 4. Seek professional support if needed. There's no shame in reaching out for help. If you're struggling to cope with overwhelming emotions, consider talking to a therapist or counselor. Therapy provides a safe space to unpack complex feelings and develop coping mechanisms tailored to your needs. Strategy number 5. Create rituals for reflection. Finally, carve out time for self-reflection. Journaling, meditating, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea can help you process your emotions. These rituals provide clarity and perspective, allowing you to approach life with renewed purpose. Remember, navigating heightened emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It means learning to listen to what they're trying to tell you, and responding with compassion and wisdom. As we wrap up today's discussion, I want to leave you with this thought. Feeling more emotional after 70 isn't a sign of weakness, it's a testament to the depth of your humanity. Your ability to experience joy, sorrow, love, and longing proves that you're still fully alive, still capable of growth and transformation. If anything I've shared resonates with you, please share it with someone else who might benefit. Leave a comment below telling me what stood out to you most, or better yet, share a story about a recent moment that made you feel deeply emotional. Your words might inspire someone else to reflect on their own journey. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future episodes. Together, we're building a community of wisdom, support, and encouragement, one story at a time. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Until next time, take care of yourself, and remember, your emotions are a gift. Use them wisely.